we've all heard the term the art of negotiation, but what does that actually mean? What is negotiating? Is it a win-win that you need to create in every situation? Because we've all heard of these cliche terms. Well, when I think about negotiating, it's really how do we get the outcome that we want and making sure that the other person is happy as well in terms of being on board and them getting the results they want. Yes, there's a degree of compromising, but ultimately, I believe to get the best results from a negotiation, it's about understanding. Now, the creator of the universe has blessed us with 2 of these and 1 of these. So that's 2 ears and 1 mouth. So what does that mean? Well, maybe he, in his infinite wisdom, has decided that we should be using our ears twice as much as our mouth, meaning we should be listening much more than we are speaking. And often when we are in a conversation with somebody, we're negotiating, we rush to fill any kind of silence, and we want to speak because we want to be heard, as opposed to us really understanding what's being said, considering it, and then deciding what's the best way to respond. Now, this is quite a difficult thing to do because, we get used to the way we speak and the way we are with people, but just being conscious and aware of what we're saying before we say it, the impact that will have, because ultimately words are really powerful. The words that you say to somebody can massively impact how they're feeling, how they respond, and what they say to you. So thinking about each and every word we say and how we say it, and this is also part of an influence when you want to influence an outcome. Now, it may be you influence an outcome because you want to achieve a certain outcome, but we want to do it in a way where the other person is on board. So we're kind of helping them along as opposed to pushing them or hypnotizing them into an outcome that we want. So let's think about this in the context of property. When we're looking to buy a property, let's say someone's asking for £100,000. One of the first things we want to do, we want to understand the boundaries. And what I mean is, where's the flexibility and where's the movement of where this conversation is going to go? So the way I like to try and do this is I try and get 2 numbers from the seller before they hear 1 number from me. And what I mean by that is, so we already have established that 100,000 the asking price, and I might say, look, I can understand that the property is on the market for £100,000. What is it that you would accept? What would work for you? And by asking a question like that, or what you're willing to accept, what could work for you, what flexibility do you have on the price, how much movement are you willing to do on the price? So these kind of questions are, firstly, they're assumptive, that there is some flexibility. We assume that there's some flexibility. And because we say it in that way, it opens up the seller to think about what might be a figure that they would consider. So for example, let's say they say 98,000. So now, before we've even started a negotiation, we're already £2,000 below where we started with before I even introduce a number. And I might say, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but that isn't quite going to work for me. And I might respond, well, that number's not going to quite work for me. When I crunch my numbers, I can't get quite close to that. And then you go silent. And nobody likes a silent because it feels uncomfortable. But what we should do is do the best we can not to speak. So we allow the other person to break the silence and for them to speak. And often in a situation like that, where you're just saying, look, that number's not going to work for me. I can't quite achieve that. I crunch my numbers. I'm way off that. And they just out of natural curiosity, they'll want to know, what is it that you're thinking? And let's say I said something like, when I crunch numbers, it's working at 91,000. And they respond, oh, there's no way I could accept 91,000. And you can quickly respond to, and that's exactly why I didn't make you an offer. Because you've kind of put the number out there and retracted it so you don't offend the buyer, because they've asked you for the number, as opposed to you saying, well, I'll give you 91 grand, which can become more confrontational. So the way we use words is really important. The way we say things, the words that we use, the impact that they have in somebody's mind. And a couple of great books to think about is How to Win Friends and Influence People, and also Never Split the Difference. 2 fantastic books on just understanding people, psychology, when we're having these type of conversations. Hey, if you're enjoying these Saj daily videos, then what I'd like you to do is click on my face over here to subscribe to the channel, and also click on the bell in order to get the notifications when these videos are being released. Then what to do next is click on this video here, and I'll see you over here on this video next.